So my name is Leah. I am a youth ambassador at FGM EU, and I'm Kenyan.
My name is Imtinan. I am from many countries. I am from an African descent of Somali and an Arab descent of Yemeni. I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. All my family live in Kenya. And then we moved to Spain when I was 17, and I've lived there ever since.
I am Nabila. I am from the Netherlands because I'm born and raised up there. My roots are in Africa, in the Nubian tribe in Sudan.
My name is Cynthia Karanja. I am a youth ambassador of FGM European Network. I am also an elected board member and I am an activist as well. Originally, I'm from Kenya. Currently live in Northern Ireland and I work for an organization in the Republic of Ireland called Akidwa, which deals with issues affecting migrant women living in Ireland.
I am Sherifat, I'm 24. I'm Nigerian, based in London.
My name is Bassmala al-Bushari. I am originally from Sudan, but I live in the UK. I'm currently a master's student at the University of the West of England, and I'm also a FGM European Network Youth Ambassador.
What is one thing you're taking away from your experience on the Purple Chair podcast?
So I am a perfectionist down to my bone, but I think I'm speaking from the heart, speaking from experience it's pretty great because it's perfect imperfection.
Yes, this is something I'm taking with me, that it's okay to not stick to a transcript. It's okay not to even have a transcript. It's enough to be yourself, and it's enough to be you and to be unique.
I can do anything.
That's a great takeaway.
I never thought in 1,000 years that I would ever sit down and be a part of anything like this, like a podcast. It has never crossed my mind. And so the fact that I'm seated here doing this, I now believe I can do anything.
I have one word, which is empowering. I feel like my voice has been stronger, that I can have it voiced out to millions of people who can listen to this podcast.
What is your best memory as an activist? And what are you most proud of as an activist?
I think that my best memory is when I was talking to a friend and she asked me, why do Europeans need to worry about FGM? Like, this is a thing that, that is something cultural. So, like, why do we need to talk about it? And I had the tools and I had the right answer for her. And I was so proud of myself. I was like, okay, yes, I'm an activist. I'm doing this. Yeah. So that was like one of my most proud moments, giving her the right answer, not arguing, in a rude manner.
One of the memories I have from my journey as an activist is that at the beginning of this journey, there were a lot of women who didn't felt safe to talk about their experience. They were so closed about talking about this that the first few times they were not even attending like events. It took us a very long time to get through them and to get them that far that they can come to events and talk about the situation and share if they have a problem. You should just be very patient because it's something that is very painful and something that is very hard for people to talk about. So I'm happy that I was patient and that we are now at a certain point that those women, they can talk about it very easily.
My best memory, I can't think of just one because I feel like activism for me has been just a journey. And I think within that, there have just been a lot of feelings. And I would more so say that the feeling that arises through doing activism is really what sticks with me and is my best memory. I think being with others who care, being in community with people, and also feeling like you're making a difference pertaining to something that you really care about. I think just recognizing that when we do come together to do activism, we do all come with our own unique perspectives. The people who I've managed to meet through doing activism, like I would never have been able to meet otherwise. So and just again learning about their lived experiences and their perspectives, the things we have in common, but also the really lovely things that are different as well. In terms of something I'm really proud about, generally just taking the opportunity to do activism. It definitely was a space that was very scary to enter initially. Even now, I kind of struggle to call myself an activist because it just feels like this kind of pedestalized thing that really cool people do. Not to say I'm not cool, but yeah, it kind of feels like you have to also have this like wealth of knowledge. And of course, like activists will tell you that they learn every day and they read well, maybe not every day, but you know, they do a lot to maintain but also stretch their knowledge. I'm a baby activist, I would say.
Learning and getting inspired by other activists or other youth ambassadors where I meet them annually. And one of my proudest moment or meaningful moment was working with my community, engaging with the community and talking to them about the work that I do. So I'm visualizing what my voice can do in a practical manner.
If you could give one advice to a young person who wants to get involved on FGM, what would that be?
Be patient. Honestly, it's going to take a lot of learning, unlearning, even from yourself. It's going to take a lot of educating yourself. But within patience, you can find little pockets of self-fulfillment. There's so much that comes from it. But when you're patient, you're able to see things grow and you take them less for advantage and more for what they are. Beautiful moments.
I would say to educate yourself, to ask questions, not shy away, even though this is a very sensitive topic. Like curiosity, like there's this saying in Spanish called La curiosidad mató el gato. It's better to be curious and to ask questions than to just sit with it. So that's my one take, to ask questions.
Be courageous and start. It doesn't matter where you are at or who you're with. You can start anywhere. You can start in your house, just talking to your relatives, talking to your friends. You don't have to. I feel like most people always think that you need to start from like a certain platform where you're speaking to big people or like in important meetings. But even just speaking to your friend about it, that's an act of activism, and that's very important. You made a difference. You know that saying, there can be 100 people in the room, 99 of them are not interested, but you make a difference in one person's life. That's a slogan every activist should go by. It doesn't matter, as long as you've impacted or made a difference in one person's life, that's a big win.
I think my piece of advice would be figuring out why it matters to you and bringing that to the table. So whether that's your own like lived experience or if it's you wanting to be an ally, really connecting with your why. I think it keeps you very grounded, but it also kind of helps you when it gets difficult, because there will be difficulty and challenges along the way. But I think that, yeah, just kind of keeping in mind your why will enable you to flourish. And it will also bring something unique as well. And it will enable you, again, to connect with people who either have similar whys or even people who don't have similar whys but can learn something from you. And then you can also learn things from others as well.
If you don't have enough information about the topic that you are advocating about, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to challenge people in higher positions. Don't be afraid to challenge communities who may not be willing to listen to you. So having that strong mind and confidence that you will get there no matter what.
If you could change one thing to our movement to end FGM in Europe, what would it be?
I think reaching out to the proper organizations, because there's always that kind of, like there's some organizations, I don't know which ones, and I don't want to like, be the one who's stigmatizing them. But they're the ones who always say that, why do we need to be involved in FGM? Like they don't really see FGM as a sort of agenda-based violence. So they sort of like don't really think about it, and they just think that, oh, violence against women is like the domestic kind and stuff. Maybe change their ideology on that. Tell them that FGM is a kind of violence against women or gender-based violence.
Including men, including children, including everyone to this movement, to create awareness, to get faster to our goal and ending FGM?
Just us being supportive of one another. It's not a competition. It's not about you being better than others or you doing more or being able to say you've been doing this for more years. It's more of us working as a team, as a group. We're all equals, we're all partners, we all have a common goal. It's not a competition.
And finally, what do you think is needed for more young people to get involved within our movement to end FGM?
Give them those spaces. Honestly, give young people the opportunity, the platform, the voice. Bring them onto your organizations. Bring them into meetings, seminars. If it's workshops that you need to train them, go ahead, because you are educating, you are bringing people in, because we all know how hard it is to occupy space. So when you're giving someone that opportunity, you do a great deal in assisting them to become activists.
If we want to reach more young people, we can do it via more ways that they are attractive for them, like, for example, Netflix, like documentaries, like try to bring the message via a way that they can easily reach out to.
More spaces where young people are allowed to speak up and be involved in decision making. One thing I'd take from FGM EU is giving young people a platform like this, which we've been given, the podcast. Me as a youth being allowed to be part of a board, that's me being given an opportunity to be part of something important. So more space for young people. We can also make a difference, and we also have ideas, and that should be recognized.
Young people knowing that there's space for them, and that their voices matter. I think often young people, they tend to kind of doubt their place in certain movements, perhaps not thinking that they have anything important to say. But I think the perspective of young people is very important when it comes to, well, most matters, if not all of them, but FGM in particular. So I think them really knowing that there is space, that their voices not only matter, but have room to flourish. And I think also in terms of older people who are perhaps already in the movement, maybe taking young people under their wing and really nourishing their potential, giving them more opportunities to develop. Thank you for listening, and watch this space as there are more episodes coming. See you soon on the Purple Chair podcast.